Hello and welcome to another episode of Kia Electric News, your weekly roundup of EV news from Kia, Hyundai and Genesis. In case you missed them this week, I did two videos. The first was about checking you have the correct service book with your new Kia EV, which should say 20,000 miles or 2 years and not 10,000 miles and 1 year like some have reported. I also covered service plan options. The second video was about getting the Kia Satnav to send you a consistent route on a round trip. I had to figure this out for my wife's benefit because she was dropping me off and collecting me from Walsall Manor Hospital for my hernia operation way back in October. By the way, my recovery has gone well. Next Wednesday will be 6 weeks and I should be able to do normal stuff again. Biggest news of the week was in the UK. It was the autumn budget. We are finally getting stung for 3p per mile from April 2028 was the bad news. And the good news was the expensive car supplement threshold should be raised from £40,000 to £50,000 from April 2026. This is what the RAC said. The government has officially announced that a mileage-based tax, or EVD, will be introduced. The mileage-based tax will be equal to 3p per mile for battery electric cars and 1.5p per mile for plug-in hybrids. It will begin from April 2028 financial year. Electric vans, trucks and motorcycles will initially be exempt from the charge. The Office of Budget Responsibility, or the OBR, estimates that an electric car driver travelling 8,500 miles during this period will pay an additional £255 from the mileage-based charge, said to be roughly the equivalent of half the rate of fuel duty tax paid by petrol and diesel car drivers. Drivers will be expected to self-report their mileage by estimating the distance they will travel each year and either paying up front or paying monthly via direct debit. This mileage will be checked annually, either via existing MOT tests or for new cars for an annual check procedure which is expected to be carried out at MOT stations. The OBR reckons that this move will reduce demand for EVs, estimating that around 440,000 fewer electric vehicles could be sold in the 5-year forecast period as a result of the changes. However, measures to incentivise EVs, such as increasing the expensive car supplement threshold, will offset this figure by 320,000 according to the OBR. In April this year, electric car owners will also be forced to pay electric car road tax for the first time, with zero-emission vehicles previously exempt from vehicle excise duty. This caused a bit of knee-jerk outcry on social media. What many don't realise is that fuel duty is already £2.41 per gallon, and where the gallon is £6.15 I think currently, which works out between 7 and 10p per mile or more depending on fuel efficiency. In my case, I've saved around £4,000 over the last 5 years by having an EV and charging on either solar or cheap rate compared to having a petrol car. I'm personally happy to pay to help maintain the roads. The only problem I can see with this tax is that it could greatly impact owners who have no off-street parking and cannot charge on cheap rate at home. And the other problem is public charging costs are ridiculous and would be more expensive than an ICE car for one that was high efficiency anyway. This could push some owners back to owning dirty diesels, which is terrible news, and also slow down the uptake of electric cars, as we already mentioned above. I'll put a link in the description so that you can have your say on the proposals via this EVD consultation. Carscoops reports that Kia has shown a Kia EV5 Weekender Concept for the very first time at Guangzhou Auto Show in China, one that hints at a production model on the horizon. Named the EV5 Weekender, it presents a tougher, outdoors-ready take on the compact electric SUV. The EV5 is the fourth Kia to wear the Weekender badge, following in the tracks of the EV9, the PV5 and the Tasman. Each model in the series interprets an outdoor-orientated trim with its own distinct approach. The concept was developed by the Kia China Style design team. From the outside, the main changes are immediately clear. It sits higher on larger wheels wrapped in all-terrain tyres, while the lifted suspension gives it noticeably greater ground clearance and more confident stance. The SUV wears a matte beige finish accented with lime green details, a colour scheme that has become a signature for the Weekender range. It also features a redesigned body kit with wider fender extensions, new skid plates, chunkier side skirts, a hood insert and large roof rack. Kia even added dedicated mounts on one side of the vehicle for attaching extra equipment in a similar vein to the Land Rover Defender. The interior has been reworked more extensively than expected for a concept based on the existing production SUV. The wide display now stretches in front of the passenger and is paired with a slim digital instrument cluster. Other updates include a new steering wheel, a revised centre console, reshaped climate vents and fresh upholstery with modern colours and a 3D texture. The cabin is filled with practical touches reminiscent of Dacia's U-clip system, including cup holders and storage compartments mounted along the sides of the cargo area, as well as extra rails on the roof liner for securing gear. Kia hasn't disclosed the technical specifications of the concept, so it's unclear whether it differs mechanically from the production EV5 beyond its upgraded suspension setup. Hyundai Motor Group reports that it's expanding its EV energy services with vehicle-to-grid and vehicle-to-home services. Now, this has been mentioned a few times over the years. I just hope it moves forward. Hyundai Motor and Kia are to expand vehicle-to-everything services, enabling electric vehicles to store, supply and share electricity with grids and homes. They will launch Kia's first vehicle-to-grid V2G pilot service for customers supporting Jeju's renewable energy goals. Expand Europe's EV energy services by advancing from smart charging V1G service to bidirectional V2G capabilities starting with the Netherlands. Will broaden vehicle-to-home services in the US, turning EVs into emergency backup power and energy storage solutions. At the moment, only Kia EV9, Hyundai Ioniq 9 are compatible, and also the Kia EV6 facelift will be added to this in the US. Surprisingly, no mention of the EV3, the EV4 or the EV5 in all of this, but they're supposed to be, or by some kind of software upgrade. Carscoops reports that Euro Ncap safety ratings are changing for the better. Carscoops says this: Euro Ncap is sharpening its safety pencil. The organisation behind the star ratings that brands love to boast about is rolling out a huge shake-up of its testing programme for 2026 that includes a crackdown on those annoying ADAS warnings that plague modern cars. The reboot splits vehicle safety into 4 clear stages: safe driving, crash avoidance, crash protection and post-crash safety. Each category gets its own score, and star ratings will depend on strong performance across all of them. The idea is that cars must keep you out of trouble, protect you when things go wrong, and then help rescuers get you out quickly. One of the most headline-grabbing updates addresses a problem that has led to genuine tragedies. Electric vehicles with pop-out or powered door handles will now be required to keep those handles working even after a crash. Fire crews have repeatedly complained that some EVs lock up after impact and refuse to open, which slows rescues and in extreme cases costs lives. Well, Kia's EVs have deadlocks, and that's an issue which I've shown before. Euro Ncap wants that fixed, and soon driver assistance systems are also getting a long overdue reality check. Until now, most ADAS evaluations happened on a closed track where systems behave like model citizens. Out on actual roads, things are rather different. Automatic lane keeping can yank the wheel when you least expect it, and constant beeps and bongs send drivers rushing for the off switch, defeating the whole point of safety gear. From 2026, cars will earn extra points for advanced driver monitoring systems that genuinely keep tabs on a distracted driver rather than perform glorified blink detection. They can even gain credit if they can spot signs of alcohol or drug impairment and take action. Meanwhile, a long-awaited change will finally reward cars that keep proper physical buttons for common controls. After years of touchscreen everything, drivers have made their frustration extremely clear. Yay! This will be good. Crash avoidance tests will expand to include more realistic scenarios that involve motorcyclists, cyclists and urban hazards. Smoothness matters too. Lane support that darts the wheel like a nervous cat will lose points even if it technically avoids an impact, and there will be rewards for vehicles that recognise when a driver presses the gas pedal when they meant to hit the brake. Crash protection also gets more granular. Dummies with different body shapes, ages and sizes will be used to reflect the people who actually sit in cars, echoing a move happening in US crash testing. And simulations and sled tests will support full crashes for better accuracy, giving more detail about side impact protection and the risk to pedestrians posed by structural areas like the windscreen. Finally, the post-crash stage receives a modern boost with new rules for EV battery isolation, those flush door handles that we mentioned earlier, and automated SOS functions that must tell first responders how many people were in the car even if seatbelts were not buckled. Electric cars must also be able to warn drivers about battery fire risks even after a crash. The new protocols represent the biggest overhaul of Ncap testing since 2009, but we won't have to wait another 17 years for the next big refresh. The organisation says it will update its protocols every 3 years from 2026, a decision that reflects just how quickly assistance tech is evolving on new cars. I personally welcome all of these. I mean, especially the door lock thing. It's just unreal that you can get locked in and have to crawl out the boot or break the glass. Hyundai Motor Group today held a topping out ceremony for its future mobility battery campus in Ansan, Korea, marking a major milestone in the group's commitment to advancing battery technology and enhancing global electric vehicle competitiveness. Battery technology is a strategic pillar for EV performance and competitiveness. The future mobility battery campus will serve as the group's first comprehensive battery research and development hub, enabling Hyundai Motor Group to internalise core battery capabilities including cell design, process engineering and integrated control systems linked to EV battery management. Integrated battery technology R&D across design, production and application to ensure the highest standards of quality and safety for seamless vehicle integration. And validate breakthrough technologies in high precision real world conditions that accurately reflect diverse and detailed vehicle requirements. And now for some recalls and software updates. The information for the following European OTAs comes from the German OTA portal. First up, the Kia EV3 gets another OTA. Details as follows. An over-the-air update for the integrated electric booster, IEB, will be available shortly. This update applies to some EV3 variants. This over-the-air update prevents unnecessary messages from being displayed during the OTA process. Weird one there. In case you don't know, Kia's integrated electric booster is an electromechanical brake booster that uses an electric motor to amplify pedal force for improved braking performance, efficiency and integration with electric vehicle systems like Regen braking. So it's instead of a vacuum servo you get in an ICE car. The Kia EV9 is set to receive the following 3 over-the-air updates. Details as follows. They were posted on November the 25th. OTA software update for the airbag control unit, or ACU. This update applies to some EV9 models. This over-the-air software update removes the test login function from the airbag control unit, or ACU. Also for the EV9, over-the-air software update for the integrated charging control unit, or ICCU. This update applies to some EV9 models. The over-the-air software update contains bug fixes for the integrated charge control unit. Doesn't mention any detail. And the third one, over-the-air update for the integrated electric booster. An over-the-air update for the integrated electric booster will be available shortly. This update applies to some EV9 variants. This over-the-air update improves system reliability with advanced security features, so it's different from the EV3 one. Also this week, Ioniq Guy did a video about a technical service bulletin for the US vehicles that have the in-cabin camera monitoring system. Basically the same one we have in the Kia EV3 with its infrared lights. Reference number is 25-BE-019H. In-cabin camera software enhancement. Details as follows. Certain vehicles equipped with the in-cabin camera may benefit from this enhanced software. The software logic has been improved and expanded to now include head pose detection in addition to driver's eye gaze to determine driver attentiveness during the smart cruise control. If you're enrolled in BlueLink, then this will arrive as an over-the-air software update. If you're not enrolled in BlueLink and ask a dealer to install the update, then it will be chargeable. There is currently no news of this coming to the rest of the world though. A link to Corbyn's video can be found above and in the video description. This week, US-built 2025 Ioniq 5 has also been recalled for loose seatbelt retractor bolts. NHTSA recall number is 25V797. The driver and/or front passenger seat belt retractor assembly fasteners, bolts, in the subject vehicles might have been incorrectly installed during a plant rework. A loose or unsecured seat belt retractor may not function as designed, increasing the risk of injury during a crash. Vehicles were produced between December the 12th, 24 to June the 12th, 25. Number of affected vehicles, 1,535. All owners of the affected vehicles will be notified by first-class mail with instructions to bring their vehicles to a Hyundai dealership where technicians will basically tighten the bolts up if they need it. Hyundai will provide reimbursement to owners for prior repairs in accordance with the plan submitted in February 24. On Friday morning in the UK, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders announced that the 84th president of the SMMT will be Paul Philpott, President and CEO of Kia UK. Announced at the SMMT's 108th annual dinner He will assume office from the 1st of January 2026, replacing Mick Flanagan, Vice President for Adient, who steps down after completing his 2-year tenure. And finally, this week Kia Korea released an EV5 Smart Regen video. This seems to work a bit better than the system we have in the EV3 at the moment, particularly at junctions. This is the translated version. When you're coasting with your foot off the accelerator, the Smart Regen system uses navigation information and front radar to adjust regen braking automatically. To activate the Smart Regen system, pull and hold the right paddle shifter whilst in drive. When you're driving downhill, it automatically adjusts regen braking to maintain an appropriate speed. When a vehicle is detected ahead, it adjusts regen braking to maintain a safe distance, and if the vehicle ahead stops, it uses regen braking to bring you to a stop as well. You can set the distance to the vehicle ahead by selecting the gap level in the infotainment system. When link to navigation route is activated, the Smart Regen system automatically adjusts regen braking for safer driving based on the driving conditions. When a speed camera is detected, it automatically adjusts regen braking to match the speed limit. When turning left or right at an intersection, or when driving through a sharp curve, it helps ensure stable driving by automatically adjusting regen braking. Always pay attention to the road and traffic conditions and use the brake pedal to control your speed when needed. So that's the get out clause, I guess. That's all for this week. As usual, links to all stories and videos can be found in the show notes in the video description. Thanks for all the comments and likes, and welcome new subscribers. Welcome back to channel member Alpa Z, and welcome to new channel member Dave Pawson, possibly our first EV4 member. Welcome, Dave. Big thanks to my channel members for your invaluable financial support. It's a big help to me. If you support this channel and become a channel member for just £1.49 a month, you get advert-free early access to my videos and also video exclusives. If you're in the UK, you can also support this channel by using my Octopus and Electroverse referral codes, which are in the video description. We can share £100 if you use my Octopus code, or £10 if you use my Electroverse code. You can also support this channel for free by just clicking subscribe if you haven't already. And if you really like this video, you can also show your appreciation by hitting the hype button in the YouTube app. Thanks for watching.